in the building. Please, my friend, I don't need the introduction, but those who are watching might need the introductions. And don't be shy in telling us who you are and what you do, because I know you do a lot. Hit them.
Oh, snap. All right. I'm David Cox, also known as Click.
Click, click, bang.
And music professional.
Yes. Love that.
Yeah.
And this is what you do. I know your work. I've seen you hit the pavement in the community. I've seen you make change. I've seen you start initiatives. And then you get a call from Mark Stoddard who says, we're doing this thing called Flowers, beloved. And we're giving honor to men for what they've done in society, what they do. And you first heard it. I want to hear your first emotion when he called you and told you about it. I want to hear your first feeling when you heard that.
The first emotion was like, that's amazing.
Right.
Because me and him have had many discussions, especially over the last 5 years, just with a lot of people in our community passing.
Yeah.
And so it was like, you know, it's something like this is needed. Like, why are we celebrating people when they're gone?
Right.
Why not celebrate them while they're here?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that really touched me. And I was like, when I gotta come? When? Where?
Where I gotta be?
Let me think about it. All right, all right.
Think about it. I'm gonna be there. And you know, it's symbolic that we say this in, you know, we're here, and it's not even a secret. We're in a funeral home, because as you know, Mark, he's bringing it to here. He's not coming halfway. You know, and first when you hear the idea, it's at a funeral home, we're giving each other flowers. I think there's no other place. What did you think when you first?
First thing, like, man, I gotta watch my mouth. I was like, I got a potty mouth. So I was like, yo, I gotta watch my mouth.
What you say here.
You know what I mean? But I love, you know, I'm all about concepts. I'm all about, like, you know, how do you make an imprint, an impact, bigger than just one thing? Like, how do you make it really connect with people? So, you know, I thought it was really dope that he was doing it at the funeral home. Dope. I saw some of the videos he'd been putting up and stuff. I was like, oh, that's really dope.
It's dope. I've seen you put together and watch the rise of hip hop movement. I've seen you do platforms online where you're talking about the culture of our music, things that have been missing. You know what I mean? But when you start a movement, you never know how big it gets. We have to look towards the future. And I'm gonna put you on the spot now and ask you, how big do you think Flowers, beloved, can be if it gets what it? Because I've seen you watch things grow. We've grown up and watched you do that, Click. How do you think this can go? Like, how big can this reach?
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit.
Do you know what I mean? Like, sky's the limit. Cue the song.
Cue the song.
All right? You know what I mean?
He's got it simple.
But it's like, you know, everywhere in the world, small, big, small towns, big cities, there's people that make impacts.
Right.
You know, there's people that have deserved the recognition in some shape or another. Do you know what I mean? For whatever they've done.
Right.
You know, in whatever industry it is in, you know? So something like this could be, you know, carried out throughout the world, really. So when you think about like how big of an impact it can be, I mean, I'm putting a lot on Mark right now, but like, yeah, you know, this could go everywhere and anywhere.
It could.
You know?
So going forward, my last question for you, going forward, how do you continue this movement when you leave here today? We've all seen each other, we got caught up, we're like, how you doing? How do we continue this when we leave here and it doesn't just close when you walk out that door?
Well, I think it's great that you said, because I think like doing something like this might inspire somebody else who's hasn't really thought about, hey, how can I do something similar in the same nature?
Correct.
Do you know what I'm saying? And
Cultivates
I think like you can't put all the onus on Mark. Like as a community, we all have to do our diligence in terms of like upholding one another. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, for me, I always try to, you know, shine a light where I can, wherever I can. You know what I mean? But I think that hopefully that what this does, like I said, resonates with people to be like, hey, you know what? Like, there's more I can do. Because sometimes we get really stuck in our bubbles, especially when COVID puts us in a bubble. Right. Do you know what I mean?
So we get stuck. To stay in that bubble.
It gets natural to stay in the bubble. So the idea is like, what are you doing outside of your bubble?
Right.
You know, and some of us who've been around for a long time have done a lot of things.
Right.
Actually, our network is really large, but we don't sometimes realize how large it goes out. you know?
So going out to your
and going outside of your bubble and reaching out, upholding, uplifting people that you know have made an impact is actually the distance that you have to go. It can't just be like, let me, salute and celebrate your close ones, but what about the people that have even made impacts in your life that you don't always talk to on a regular basis?
Facts. Thanks for coming, my brother.
Yeah.
Good
Much
to
love.
see you, man. Much
respect
love.
to you.
Peace.
Peace.
I wanna give you your flowers right now.